What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Natural, and today I'm showing you guys 3 tips and tricks to improve your KD within Season 2 of Cold War and Modern Warfare. Now, I'll just give you guys a little backstory on my end. When I first started playing Call of Duty, actually my first Call of Duty I owned was Modern Warfare 2, and I had like a 0.8, 0.9 KD, and today I have a 3.18 KD in Cold War, and I believe like a 2.8 something in Modern Warfare. And so I just want to share some tips and tricks with you guys, help improve your KD. I know skill-based matchmaking really makes a little harder on this, but I promise if you start implementing these 3 tips, you'll notice right off the bat that your gameplay is going to improve. So with that being said, let's get it right into it. So the first tip that I want to bring up to you guys is movement through the map / positioning. So first thing I'm gonna bring up is just kind of the layout of majority of Call of Duty maps that you'll ever come across. And so majority of the Call of Duty maps are 3-lane maps. There's always a middle, a left side of the map, and a right side of the map. And there's usually a pathway that connects all 3 together, or maybe 1 or 2 lanes together. So pretty much the way you want to move throughout any Call of Duty map, no matter if it's your first time playing it or even maps that you may know and that you just you love to play, is you always want to stick to the outskirts of the map. So you may ask, hey, why are you doing this? So the reason behind this is, let's say you're going through the middle of the map. If you're a new player, I guarantee you're probably going to go right to the middle of the map because that's where the action is going to be. So when you go to the middle of the map, not only do you have to worry about enemies coming in front of you, you have to worry about enemies coming from that left lane and enemies coming from that right lane. So it just adds a lot of areas that you have to check with your eyes. And whereas if you came from the outskirts of the map, if let's say you're going from the left side, all you have to worry about is enemies coming from that left side and enemies coming from the middle. So instead of looking at 3 lanes, if you were in the middle, if you were in the outskirts, you only have to look at 2 lanes. So if you use this tip, I promise you'll notice that you'll start to get more kills because you're going to get people that are running towards the middle and they're not really looking at you. And then you'll also be able to cover the left lane where people are trying to attack you head on. And so you start implementing this and really just covering the outskirts, looking in, I guarantee you're going to notice that you're going to get more kills. And just kind of basically key thing to keep in mind, just stay away from the middle of the map. Always stick to the outskirts, look in. I promise you're going to notice your kills going to go up tremendously. So, and the other piece with that, the positioning piece, always try and keep cover in front of you. If you ever notice when you ever try to shoot someone off cover or a head glitch, it's really hard. And so if you were in cover, majority of the time you're going to win those gunfights. So always try and, however you're moving through the map, keep in mind what cover is in front of you so that you can protect yourself and only show a limited part of your body, where the enemy person might have their whole part of their body, and so you can just get hit them wherever you want. So that's pretty much for tip number 1. So let's move on to the next one. So the next tip I got for you guys is using teammates to predict spawns. If you're trying to improve your KD, you definitely want to predict the spawns and know where your enemy is coming from. And I'm sure you guys notice whenever you have a UAV up or a VSAT up, you notice that you get more kills because you know where the enemy is going to be. You can pre-aim those corners and just be ready for them. And so you can do this without those Scorestreaks a little bit. And pretty much what this is you just use your teammates. So the easiest way to explain this is wherever your teammates are, if they're on one area of the map and you guys are all bunched together, you can pretty much knock out that the enemy is going to come from that area. And in wherever your teammates aren't, that's where the enemy is most likely going to come from. And so try and just keep in mind where you move out through the map with your teammates. All right, hey, I got a guy to my left and I got a guy to my right, so the enemy has to be here. Or even just look at how your enemies, your teammates are rolling through the map, and just you just can kind of predict where the enemies are going to be, where your teammates are not. So that's just kind of a basic one. And it seems kind of common sense, like, oh, obviously my teammates are here, so the enemy's not going to be here. But you guys would be surprised, just thinking about it and just doing it over and over again. This will help you to predict spawns and learn the spawns, so that you guys can kind of predict where your enemies are coming from, and you can pre-aim those corners. So definitely keep that one in mind. And so the last tip here I have for you guys, it's not really, I guess, a tip, but if you're trying to improve your KD, use meta weapons. I get you guys want to use all the guns in the game because they give us a lot of guns, but let's be honest, with skill-based matchmaking, it really forces us to stay to a certain amount of guns because we have to compete with each other. And you definitely want to stick with the meta weapons. I suggest either the AK-47, XM4, AK-74U, those type of guns. I promise you, if you use the meta guns that are going to just outgun everything, you're going to notice that you're going to get more kills. And maybe stick to something that's more your playstyle, but pretty much always use those meta weapons, because if you're running around with like a QBZ, for example, with skill-based matchmaking, I guarantee you're going to get fried every time, just because a lot of guns can beat that gun. So just always keep in mind, use the meta weapons, especially if you're trying to improve your KD, and just always keep that in mind. I get you want to have fun, but if you want to get better at the game and improve your KD, the game forces you to use those meta weapons. So keep that in mind. And with that being said, that's pretty much it for today's video. Let me know in the comment section if these tips and tricks helped you guys out. And I do, in my previous video, I do have a Battle Pass giveaway going on, so please go check that one out and see the description. I'll be announcing the winner in my next video. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'm out.